Oh my goodness, here you are. Here you are. It's the 6th of October, 2022, as Tommy Danielson and I bring you the latest in travel news. We do this irregularly on both Facebook and YouTube. Delighted to have you in the house, but keep in mind if you're watching this after the 6th of October, that our information is accurate as far as we know as of that date. If you're watching it 2 years later, well, you know. Anyway, Tommy, how are you? Nice to see you.
You too. How's it going over there? We haven't been, yeah, back in
Tommy
the
is
office, back on the horse.
Tommy is back in his world headquarters outside of Sacramento. I'm in my world headquarters in modest St. Paul, Minnesota, right off the Mississippi River, and home to one of Delta's largest hubs, which brings up the subject of the email I got this morning saying, making some changes in the medallion program. Well, I work fairly hard to get to Diamond, which is pretty high on the status level for Delta, and along with the usual amount of ridiculous amount of money, I have to spend $15,000 a year to qualify for Diamond, as well as obviously flying the airline a lot. Beginning next year for 2024, I'll have to spend 20,000 miles. If you want to get to Platinum, which you normally have to spend 9,000, it's going to be 12,000. If you want to go from Gold, if you want to get to Gold, it's normally 6, or right now it's 6,000 for next year. The following year, it'll be 8,000. Right. So I'm not happy about that. And when I called you to gripe about it today, Tommy, you said that you were surprised because apparently airlines are losing some of their more elite passengers, or at least their passengers aren't achieving elite status as much as before.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit surprised. It's the first airline that I've seen that's making it harder to get status. I mean, I think that it's really strange, and there's always a perception out there that there's so many elites, I never get upgraded, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and that's obviously the universe decides that kind of stuff, and it has to do with routes. It has to do if it's hub to hub. You live in a hub that's Minneapolis, which is a place where there's a lot. Obviously, when Delta has a lot of flights, that means that there's going to be a lot of elites. Right. So there are many factors that are into this. But what they pretty much have done is to increase the requirements for the various tiers of how much money you have to spend on them. Usually the way that it works, you fly this many miles per year and then you get status. That's the way it used to be. That changed, and American changed it to like a whole bizarre lottery thing last year, and people are excited. They're booking hotels and doing all sorts of weird stuff, and they're turning it into a hobby for those who don't have time to dilly-dally with that stuff, and also wants to fly an airline that's fairly on time. I just skipped the whole. I think that American is having, there will be some changes to it because it's very easy for some people to get status. What Delta is doing here, it surprises the hell out of me. I think that it's so strange that they're increasing this right now. But there are some ways to get out of it, which you obviously know, right?
No, I don't know how to get out of spending $20,000 on tickets in a year.
Well, I mean, for the highest level, for the Diamond level that you have, right? Right. There is a waiver. The waiver is that you have to spend $250,000 on one of the Delta credit cards in a year.
Great. That's great. Unfortunately, I don't own a construction firm, so I'm not going to be putting $250,000 on a credit card.
Right. You're not adding on to the house twice. Right. And but for the other ones, it's literally the $25,000 that you have to spend in a year on either one of those credit cards, and then you can get Platinum, and you can get Gold, and you can get Silver doesn't
Gold
have
and Platinum. Yes, yeah. Silver, Gold, and Platinum. Yeah.
So
didn't you tell me that United has lost some of its?
I think that what we're seeing now is that bookings and also retention of customers, people staying, we're seeing all over the world. It's not just United, but a lot of airlines. The data we saw, we just came off of our most prestigious conference that we own, the Loyalty Summit, the world's leading travel loyalty conference in London. And what we're seeing is drop in demand. That's why you're seeing all of these sales. That's where you're seeing all of these reduction in routes and various things. We had a COVID issue. Now we have a demand issue because there's a recession. So I think that it's really, Yeah.
Maybe Delta figures setting the bar higher will make us work even harder and fly more. I mean, I guess that's the theory.
I think that the number of consumers that clunked down $20,000 on a like you on a to get status with an airline, you have to honestly you have to have your head examined if you want to put that kind of money down, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's funny. So you got to spend $20,000 on Delta tickets in a year. Do you really think consumers are going to do that? These are business travelers, and business travel is going one direction, and that's down.
Okay. All right. That says it for Delta. Well, we'll watch and see. Heathrow is lifting, it put a cap on the number of passengers that could pass through the airport every year because it was getting so clogged up. They didn't have enough people in baggage to carry baggage. Didn't have enough people at immigration lines, et cetera. But they're lifting that 100,000 passengers a day ceiling and, well, eliminating it, I should say, eliminating it at the end of this month. So if you're flying to Heathrow, you'll be able to, by the end of the month, don't worry about that cap. What do you got? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I think that, worth commenting on this. Heathrow has been a complete chaos, and they don't have gates. They don't have that they're doing this is, I find, kind of comical, because there's been so many issues. People are waiting for gates for 45 minutes at Heathrow. They don't have enough staff to handle the flights they have now. So look out. I think that even if there are less flights, we're still seeing the world is definitely travel world is definitely not normal out there.
All right. So you don't think they'll be staffed up enough by the end of October to get us through quickly?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Another thing to watch.
Looking at what I've seen and watching the social media world ticking by here on the screen next to this, it's how many flights are delayed, and how many flights people are getting delayed because they can't find a gate. They can't have people to handle the flights. I think that's specifically the service problems are continuing all over the world, also at Heathrow. So moving on. Austrian Airlines are making some changes to their 777s, and this is the second time in not that long that they have done that. They're yanking out business class seats. They are putting in some premium economy seats. The business class seats goes from 40 seats to 32. Which is a very low number for I personally am a big fan of Austrian Airlines business class. The setup that they have now, as you can, I don't know if you can see from this picture, is that between door 1 and 2. So door 1 is right behind the cockpit. Door 2, these big planes, they have a second door where people usually enter, and you make a left if you go to business, and you make a right to go back to the cheap seat. Right. They have one row of business class right behind where I actually always try to sit. I did the last time I flew them was right before the pandemic ended. I was in the first row here on the side, and I had the whole cabin, the little cabin to myself. So that they're taking out those 6 seats. They're also taking out the 2 seats all the way in the last row, which I think is going to be either a restroom or an extension of the galley. So not sure why they did that, but I guess they need more room to have restrooms too. And then, so they're putting in replacement for that row of business class. They're putting in 2 rows of premium economy, but then they're stuffing in 4 more rows. And what the Lucky's writing, he can't wrap his head around where the extra economy capacity is coming from. Right. Well, they're stuffing in more seats. That's how that's working out. It's going to be tighter on Austrian. There's going to be less premium seats, and I guess the world is. This is an airline reacting to leisure demand and failing business class demand.
Are they going to have less premium seats or more premium seats?
They're going to have for the business class, they're going from 40 seats to 32.
Yeah.
And those business class seats will be replaced with 2 more rows of premium economy.
Right.
And then they're stuffing in 14 more economy class seats in the,
okay.
In the back.
All right. Okay. What else? Oh, Paris.
Yeah. End of an era, right?
You could always buy those carnets, those 10 ticket packs. There they are. The paper tickets for the Paris metro system are going to be history. No more paper. Mm-hmm. Joining the rest of the world with all kinds of, electronic things you just touch or you run through or whatever.
I think
Boy,
that's phenomenal news. I mean, at the end of the day, this is your wallet right here. This is how you pay everything. I mean, I've through Europe. I think I pulled out my credit card 3 times total, including trains and subways and all that stuff. You literally just pay with your Apple Wallet. That's a beautiful thing.
So these little tickets going to become collector's items? I got 5 or 6 of them in the desk drawer here, I think.
Yeah, maybe you could make a couple.
10 years, 10 years, make a couple bucks. Okay, what else you got?
All right, so Aer Lingus is pumping out their Airbus 321s. They've started. They've bought quite a few of these Airbus 321 757 replacements, if you will. It's the long range version of a short haul airplane where you literally have 3+3 in the back and a few rows of 16 lie flat seats in the front, but a lot of seats in the back. And they're flying to Hartford, Connecticut, and I saw they announced Cleveland, which nobody succeeds flying to Cleveland anymore to anything overseas.
Cleveland.
Cleveland is doomed airport. And people, and I always see my friends from Cleveland complaining about, whoa, we don't have any flights anymore. Well, guess why that is? Because you're not traveling enough. And so they're adding these planes with long legs, meaning that those Airbus 321s that United has, or actually United doesn't have them, but American and Delta has 321s. These long Airbuses with 3+3 short haul planes with big gas tanks is now a thing. So they're going to smaller airports.
Well, I guess they must have discovered a large community of Irish people in Cleveland that I didn't know about or something. Jeez.
Aer Lingus is known for being a little bit on the cheaper side. I think that's the gig. Okay. Over to I find a little fascinating article that Lucky wrote this morning about Wizz Air, which not a big fan of Wizz Air, to be honest with you. They've made some moves now. Not a big fan of Hungary, to be quite honest with you, but they have a daughter company in the UAE that also flies into Russia and supports Russian economy. And they have now shown their true colors of how to run a real airline by opening a route from the UAE to the Maldives. And as you can see in these pictures, they seem to be flying in a little special way. Usually it takes about 3 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours and 30 minutes from Abu Dhabi to or Dubai to the Maldives. Here, Wizz Air are spending 5 hours and 17 minutes. And why is that? Because their planes, which are kind of the same planes as Aer Lingus uses, but this is the regular Airbus 321 Neo, so it's not the long range version, but we have something called ETOPS verification, which means that the engines turn or passengers swim is what the funny abbreviation of that is. But in reality, what ETOPS is that it needs to be able to be certified to fly on one engine for X amount of time. I think it's 180 minutes or something like that. And Wizz Air are too cheap to get that certification for their airplane. So that's why they have to stay, it looks like, back in the days they were, you remember when you grew up, Pan Am, they were looking out the windows, navigating with the stars and things like that. It looks kind of the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, so they got to stick close to land since they...
Correct. They have to stay close to land and add an hour and a half in ultra low-cost carrier, crappy seats with no legroom. So
excellent.
Thanks, but no thanks, Wizz Air. So I just found that was a curious thing.
Very funny, very funny.
And I also have a little bit interesting news about for those who like to travel and likes the Hyatt loyalty program, World of Hyatt. They've actually made a contract with Lindner Hotels that's now joining World of Hyatt, their loyalty programs, meaning that you can earn and burn with lots of new hotels in Germany. Lindner Hotel is the small, medium type hotel in Germany. They have about 30 hotels total. and with a good, lots of downtown stuff in most cities, meaning that Hyatt all of a sudden, with them entering into to this relationship, will be one of the biggest offers the most hotels in Germany of any American chain.
Is Lindner only in Germany? Is Lindner
No, they've
only in
got some
Germany?
hotels outside too, in some one or two in Spain. They got one in Prague, as you can see here. They've got, let me see. Yeah, it's mostly Germany. Like the vast majority of them are in Germany. There's one in Belgium. There's one, see here, the first one here is in Belgium. All the rest of it's Germany here. And then we've got Slovakia, which is the Bratislava one, and Interlaken in Germany, which is the Grand Hotel Beau Rivage. It's actually a nice property. And
Interlaken in Germany or the Interlaken in Switzerland?
Interlaken, Switzerland.
Okay.
There's an Interlaken in Germany?
You said that. You said the Interlaken in Germany.
I did. That's completely wrong. Beau Rivage in Interlaken in Switzerland. Right. That could now actually be a Maxa Tours hotel.
It's a nice hotel.
We were staying not far away from there at that family place.
Right. Is this effective immediately with Hyatt, or
no? It hasn't rolled out yet. This is the press release says that it'll happen very soon. So we don't have a specific date, but 31 hotels and 5,500 hotel rooms are now added to the Hyatt portfolio.
Oh, good.
Last thing I have for today is American Express is launching something called American Express Member Week benefits. And we don't have all of the facts out about this yet. But this coming Monday, HBO Max, it looks like they're going to have some offers throughout the week, according to NBC. That has been leaked out, but not everything is published yet. So I think that there's going to be more good stuff. But for Monday, there are 4 vendors we know about so far. So you just need to have any of these American Express cards, either the gold, the platinum, all of the business cards are also eligible. So like the standard American Express card, you need to be eligible for these offers. So for example, if you have HBO Max, I think HBO Max per year costs $99. So if you can pay for a year, you pay $99 and you get $50 back. Under Armour, there is a $25 off of $75. There is a Dell one. They have tons of those, as you know, Rudy. You have a business card, which is you should probably have the personal one, which is better. But the $50 statement credit if you buy $100 with Dell, and the Container Store, there's also ones. And there's some dining stuff going on, some entertainment stuff going on. There will be discounts with Alaska Airlines, Finnair, Qatar, and more, which hasn't been dropped on Thursday the 13th. So keep it worth, and then Wellness Day is Friday. Enroll with Equinox, get a $40 statement credit and some.
Do you have to use whatever you're buying that day, or can you buy it for the future? Or
I'm sure you have to purchase it.
Got to purchase it anyway.
No. I don't think so. It says on October 10th, cardholders will be able to enroll in Amex offer.
Got it. Okay.
So there you have it. So there hasn't been any official drop on it yet, but I'm sure that will happen. This was on Tuesday. It hasn't been updated yet, but it is next week. So keep an eye on your Amex account or the blogs out there to talk about that.
All right.
And that's all she wrote for today.
Okay. Keep in mind, we're talking to you live. If you're watching live on the 6th of October of 2022, and consider the information we're giving you in that context. Thanks for dropping in. We'll do it again soon. And meanwhile, travel safely. Bye, Tommy.
Giddy up. Thank you, everybody. Have a